Stop! Don't press buy on that book until you watch this video. Hi, my name's Ross and welcome to another episode of the Ento Podcast. If this is the first time on this channel and you want to keep up to date with all things entomophagy, whether it's news, interviews or just insects as animals' food and feed, start right now by clicking subscribe and don't forget to press that bell so you don't miss a thing. Let's get on with the show. This show is sponsored by Crunchy Critters and I'll put a link up there to their website. And remember to put Ento 10 into your shopping basket when you check out to get 10% off your orders. So welcome to another show, and if you're new to entomophagy, I'm hoping you've watched my previous video where I give you my top 5 books that I think you should have as a beginner. If you haven't, please don't press buy on this book that I'm going to show you. Let's Eat Bugs by M.K. Grassi. I've got nothing against M.K. Grassi. From everything I could find, he's a award-winning artist and author. He's got a large collection of books out there. It's just I've got an issue with this book. Got a nice little logo on there. 100% gourmets approved. Not sure who they were, but they shouldn't be approving this book. So it's printed by Amazon. I ordered mine in the UK, so obviously it's printed in the UK by Amazon. I'm presuming that if you're in the US or elsewhere and you have ordered this book, if you look at the back, yours will say printed in wherever by Amazon. It's just over £7. I believe you can get it in a Kindle version for 99p, but I wouldn't even waste your 99p on it. At best, it's a freebie, a lead magnet for a website. Drop someone your email address, get a copy of this, I'd be happy. Spending hard-earned cash in that is only £7 compared to the rest of the books that I've got that range up to £150 on Entomophagy. It's cheap in comparison, but there are a lot better books out there. So this is the second edition, printed in 2014, which is probably about the sort of time I started getting into entomophagy, and in the years since then I've written 4 books. It's a lie, I haven't written 4 books. I've started 4 books, haven't finished any of them because it's hard. This is the sort of book that I compiled I was compiling when I first started, and as I was reading through it, it was just like, I can't charge for this. It's just over 50 pages. There's 52 pages, and if we have a look at the contents in there, so we get a bug introduction, Hop-End World Hunger, Greener World, which bugs can you eat? Then it goes through some of the bugs, there's ants, cockroaches, crickets, grassworms, locusts, millipedes. Comment about insect recipe resources, considerations, buggy conclusion, and then recommended general resources. So it's just over 50 pages, and it could be condensed down into 15, if that. The information, you can get better information out there, it's better information on the net. It's just a lot of basic copy and pasting and lots of large pictures. So if I show you the first couple of chapters, or the first couple of pages, Help End World Hunger and Greener World. As you can see, there's a couple of nice big pictures, and then there's 2 paragraphs on each. This carries on throughout the book, so you've got one large picture and a sentence. If we move into some of the insects you can eat. So if we have a look at millipedes and scorpions, again, 2 large pictures and 2 paragraphs. Sorry, scorpions is just 1. So scorpions, all it says is that they can be served on skewers, they can be fried, eaten with rice or other dishes, and depending on how they're cooked, they can either be soft or crunchy. So it's like, great, thanks very much. Doesn't tell you how to cook them, doesn't tell you how to prepare them or anything. There is an insect recipe in here, and thankfully it's by Daniela Martin, so it's from her thing. Again, have a look at my video. If you haven't read her book Edible, it's highly recommended, well worth reading. And to be honest with you, it probably costs about the same. And that is a thicker book, and it's in hardback. Your insect recipe resources are 5 links. There's 4 YouTube links and 3 recipe books. Again, for £7, don't do it. If you're that interested in starting, Bugs for Beginners is a much better book. Edible is probably about as old as this, but there is a lot more information in it. And again, have a look at the link I'll put in the show notes and up above for my top 5 books that I think you should be spending your money on. So sorry, MK Grassi, I can't recommend this book. It's too expensive for what you actually get. Even at 99p, it's too expensive. But if you've got it, if you think I'm wrong, shoot me a comment below. If you like this video and you're happy that I've sort of steered you away from wasting money, then just give me a thumbs up. Put a comment, let me know what you think, whether you've got it, whether you think it's any good, and whether you think I'm being too harsh on the author. But yeah, in my opinion, stay away. But this is Ross from the Ento Podcast saying, till next time.
Thanks so much for listening to the Ento Podcast. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit theentopodcast.co.uk and on Facebook and Twitter at the Ento Podcast. We'll catch you next time.